go home? Why are you wasting time? How come you always want to do something good for others?
Tofu, what goes around comes around. If you do good, good will come back to you. And if you do bad, bad will come back to you.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you the story of a little boy called Pinocchio. Pinocchio. Once there lived an old carpenter called Geppetto. He had no family and was quite lonely. Since he was quite poor, he would find leftover wooden logs and create something new out of them. One night, he found a large wooden log and took it home. Throughout the night, Geppetto worked on the log. And carved a young boy out of it. By the time he was done with it, it was morning.
My, what a beautiful boy I have made. I wish he had a heart. Then he could be my son and I would call him Pinocchio.
A good fairy who knew that Geppetto was a very nice man overheard him, and suddenly the wooden boy spoke up.
Hello.
Geppetto was surprised but overjoyed. He hugged Pinocchio and told him that from that day he was Geppetto's son. Geppetto arranged for Pinocchio to go to school. To buy him his books, he sold off his dear chisel.
Now you can go to school like a real boy.
One morning, as Pinocchio was going to school, the evil puppet master stopped him. The puppet master wanted to own Pinocchio so he could use him to earn lots of money.
Hello, Pinocchio. Do you want to go to the Fun Island? It is a wonderful, magical place where you can become a real boy.
Pinocchio was overjoyed at the idea of going to Fun Island. He quickly started walking with the puppet master. The good fairy who had been watching over Pinocchio suddenly appeared. Seeing her, the evil puppet master ran away, leaving Pinocchio alone.
Where are you going, Pinocchio? To school, good fairy.
Just as Pinocchio said the lie, his wooden nose grew longer.
That isn't the way to the school, Pinocchio.
Afraid that he had been caught, the boy decided to lie again.
It is a new route.
With the second lie, Pinocchio's nose grew even longer. Now he was very sad and started crying.
I am sorry. I won't go to the Fun Island. I will go to school.
Seeing how sorry Pinocchio was, the good fairy did her magic and turned his nose into its normal size again. Pinocchio thanked her and dashed off to school. Once he reached school, he told all his friends about the Fun Island. All his friends decided to go and see this magical place. What they didn't know was that the magic in Fun Island was evil. It turned little boys into donkeys.
Oh no, we are in trouble. Everybody, run from here!
Just as the boys were figuring a way out of the island, Pinocchio saw Geppetto swimming towards the island. He had been looking out for Pinocchio all day. But to Pinocchio's horror, before Geppetto could reach him, a whale swallowed him up. To save his father, Pinocchio also jumped into the sea and went straight into the whale's stomach. There he saw Geppetto.
Pinocchio, my son.
Father, are you okay? How will we get out of here now?
Well, we must tickle the whale from inside till it throws us out.
And they started tickling the whale's stomach. Soon the whale sneezed and threw both of them out. Pinocchio helped his father and all his friends to get back to the village. The good fairy had been watching him all this time.
Pinocchio, I have seen what a good boy you have been. Jumping into the sea to save your father like that. Hence, I am giving you a heart and making you a real boy.
Pinocchio and Geppetto were overjoyed. They hugged each other and thanked the fairy as Pinocchio really turned into a real boy. Do you still think that doing good is a waste of time, Tofu?
Oh no, never, Tia. From now on, I will always do good to others. Tia, you recite so many stories to me that are full of morals, but you have never recited your favorite story to me. Which one is it?
Tofu, that's true. I haven't yet recited my favorite story to you. Would you want to listen to one of my favorite stories?
Yeah.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a widow with her only son, named Jack. Their times were really hard, and they were living in poverty for long. Jack was too young to work and earn money. All their house furniture and other belongings were sold off to carry on with their basic daily needs. Until at last they were left with a cow, who used to give milk every day, and that they used to sell off in the market to buy bread. One day, the poor old cow didn't give any milk. That's when Jack suggested his mother.
I think we should sell off this cow and get a good return in bargain.
So Jack left to sell off the cow in the market. On the way, he met a butcher.
Oh, where are you going, Jack?
I'm going to the market to sell off this cow for a good bargain.
Oh, why take the trouble to go that far? I have a very good deal for you.
He took out 5 strange-looking beans from his pocket and handed them to Jack. Jack looked little hazed as to what kind of good bargain it is.
Oh my God! They are so beautiful. What do you call these?
Beans, magical beans. If you plant them overnight, by the next morning, they will grow up and reach the sky.
Wow! Mother would be so happy to see them. Thank you, Mr. Butcher.
And off went Jack happily to his mother and showed her the magical beans. But to his disappointment, she only got angry at him and shouted,
Off you go to bed right away.
She threw the beans outside the kitchen window and into the backyard and went off to her bed crying and weeping. The next morning, when Jack woke up, he saw outside his window, and to his surprise, he saw a great beanstalk reaching up to the sky.
Oh my God! This beanstalk is so huge! I need to climb this up to see where it leads to.
He climbed up and up and up till his home looked a mere spot on the ground. At last, the stalk ended and Jack found himself in a completely different place. But suddenly, a beautiful lady appeared and said,
Hello, Jack. You don't know me, but I know you and everything about you. The castle you see there belongs to a giant who stole all your father's money and killed him. Your mother had kept this secret from you to protect you. He owes you, Jack.
The lady disappeared in thin air. Jack kept standing there and thinking.
He surely owes me and my family.
Far away, where the road ended, he could see a huge castle. He went up to the castle and knocked on the huge door. A giant woman opened the door. She looked scary and howled at Jack. "What do you want?"
If you please, ma'am, would you kindly give me some breakfast? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
The giant woman, though looked cruel and ugly, had a kind heart and offered Jack a huge plate of English breakfast, but warned him, "You must finish quickly before my giant husband comes back and eats you." Then suddenly there was a huge knock on the door, and the wife picked up Jack and hid him in a huge empty kettle. As the door opened, the giant entered and roared,
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. "Nonsense! You're mistaken. It's the ox hide you smell." So he sat down at the table and ate the ox that his wife had served him as breakfast. After he finished, he asked his wife, "Get me my money bags." He started counting his money, but he was so sleepy that he slept on the table. The whole room was roaring with his snore. Jack, taking an opportunity of this time, got out of the kettle, picked up the money bags, and ran towards the door. Before the giant woke up, he climbed down the beanstalk and to his cottage, and did not look back even once. He took a sigh of relief and ran to his mother.
Mother, look what I got. We are rich now.
The mother and the son lived quite comfortably. Till one afternoon, when his mother was away, he decided to go up to the giant's castle and see what was happening there. So he climbed up the beanstalk and reached the castle. There, standing at the door, he saw the giant's wife again. But she didn't recognize him because he was dressed impeccably this time.
If you please, ma'am,
He said,
will you give me some breakfast?
Run away, you little boy. Last time a boy came, he stole my husband's money bags.
But since she was kind-hearted, she offered Jack breakfast. At that very moment, the giant knocked on the door and quickly she hid Jack in the oven. The giant entered and roared.
Fee, fee, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giant's wife once again assured him that he is mistaken and offered him his huge breakfast to eat. After eating his food, he asked his wife,
Get me my golden hen.
The wife got the hen and the giant roared in his voice,
Lay!
That very moment, the hen laid a golden egg, and Jack was left amazed with what he saw. No sooner he saw the giant slipping into his deep sleep, and once again he came out of the oven, picked up the hen, and ran for the door. In the meanwhile, the hen began to cackle. The voice made the giant move a little, but he kept sleeping. Jack climbed down the stalk and went straight to his mother and gave her the golden hen. The mother and the boy were so rich that they had money greater than even what they could spend. One day, he was sitting idle. The thought of the beanstalk crossed his mind again, and he decided to climb it. No sooner he was at the castle, but this time he decided not to be seen and climbed the kitchen wall of the castle and hid himself in the oven. In came the giant, roaring louder than ever.
Fee, fee, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giantess was quite sure that she had seen no little boy that morning, and after grumbling a great deal, the giant sat down for breakfast. As soon as he got over with his breakfast, he called out to his wife,
Bring me my harp! Sing!
ordered the giant. Soon the harp started singing the most beautiful sounds ever heard, and no sooner the giant fell off into his deep sleep. Jack, who was waiting for this moment, got out of the oven and climbed the table to grab the harp. But as soon as he started running off with it, the harp started shouting, Master! Master! The giant woke up just in time to catch the sight of Jack running out of the kitchen door. With a fearful roar, he saw Jack running with the harp and dashed after him. Little Jack ran as fast as he could, while holding the harp tightly in his hands. The giant, taking terribly long strides, gained on Jack, and he would have been caught if Giant had not slipped over a boulder. Before he could pick himself up, Jack began to climb down the beanstalk, and when the giant arrived at the edge, he was nearly halfway to the cottage. The giant began to climb down too, but as soon as Jack saw him coming, he called out, "Mother, bring an axe!" The widow hurried out with the chopper. Jack had no sooner reached the ground than he cut the beanstalk right in two. Down came the giant with a terrible crash, and that, you may be sure, was the end of him. But the mother had a very important advice for Jack.
Jack, what the giant did to your father was bad, but you should not have been so greedy. He reaped what he sowed, but greed is also a bad deed.
Jack agreed to his mother and promised to never be greedy again, and they lived happily ever after.
Wow, Tia, that was such an adventurous story.
Yeah, Tofu, and do you know why it was my favorite story?
No? Tell me.
The story was about a brave boy who wanted to fight against poverty, and in a way, he got a chance to take revenge of his father too. But in the process, he forgot that harming the giant again and again was not ethical, and stealing from the giant's house was also against his morals.
Oh, that's quite a heavy thought for my little brain.
Ha ha ha! Let's go. We are late for dinner. Mom must be waiting.
Yay! We won! But why does Ron keep passing the ball to others? He's the best player on the team. He could make more goals if he just takes the ball all the way by himself.
No, Tofu. To win, you always need a team. Every player is equally important on the team. Come, I will tell you a story about the importance of teamwork. Once upon a time, a girl called Dorothy lived in Kansas City. She was playing with her best friend, a dog named Toto, when a scary cyclone came their way. Dorothy called out to Toto,
Toto, hurry! We have to get to the basement.
but before they could reach the basement, the cyclone lifted their house up and blew it away. After some time, it fell somewhere with a thud. When Dorothy stepped out of the house, she saw the house had landed on someone.
Oh no! Toto, help me! Who is she? The house has landed on her. I'm so sorry.
Just then, Dorothy and Toto heard people behind them rejoicing. They were the Munchkins.
Thank you, thank you. You have just saved us from the evil witch of the East. You have saved us all.
Just then, another witch appeared. She was the Good Witch.
Hello, Dorothy. You have done a great deed by saving all the Munchkins. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. Could you please tell me how to go back to Kansas City? That's where I used to live.
I can do that, but I think the Wizard of Oz can help you with that. Just follow the yellow brick road. It will lead you straight to him. But before you go, take these red slippers that the evil witch of the East had. You might need them.
Dorothy thanked the Good Witch, took the slippers, and made her way on the yellow brick road with Toto. She had only walked a bit when she came across a scarecrow.
Hello, I am the Scarecrow. I have everything I want except a brain. My head is only filled with hay.
Hello, Scarecrow. I am going to the Wizard of Oz. Why don't you come with me? He might be able to help you."
And so Dorothy was joined by the Scarecrow. They had walked a few miles when they met the Tin Woodcutter.
I want a heart. When my maker made me, he gave me everything, but forgot to give me a heart. I wish he hadn't forgotten that. We are going to the Wizard of Oz. We are going to ask him for a way for Dorothy to get back to her home and for brains for me. Why don't you come with us?
And so the Tin Woodcutter also joined them. They had walked for some time when they heard Toto barking. They turned around to see that a lion had attacked Toto.
"Get away from my dog, you nasty lion!"
The lion whimpered and ran away to a corner.
"Oh no! You aren't a brave lion at all, are you?"
No, I have no courage. I wish I had some. We are going to the Wizard of Oz. We will ask him for a brain for the Scarecrow, a way for Dorothy to get back home, and a heart for me. Come with us. We will ask him for courage for you.
The lion agreed, and they all continued on the yellow brick road. They kept following the road and reached the Emerald City. They knocked on its big gates. A guard appeared. "The wizard doesn't meet anyone, but he has agreed to meet all of you." And so all the friends went to meet the wizard. They told him how and why they had come to meet him.
Thank you, Dorothy, for freeing the lands from the evil witch of the East. But I will grant all your wishes when you free us from the evil witch of the West too.
The friends agreed to the wizard's terms and left to find the evil witch of the West. But the evil witch of the West had heard about what had happened to the evil witch of the East. She also knew about Dorothy and her friends' plan to kill her. She planned an attack on them. She sent a pack of her scariest wolves to stop them. The Tin Woodcutter stepped forward.
This is a job for me. Everyone, stay back.
The woodcutter hacked at the wolves with his axe till they all ran away. The wolves had just left when the skies became dark, and many crows started coming down to peck at them all. This time, The scarecrow stepped forward and scared all the crows away. Next, the evil witch sent flying monkeys. Before anyone could do anything, the monkeys grabbed them all and took them to the evil witch's castle.
So, you've come to kill me, huh? How will you do that? The woodcutter is lying in a pile over the stones. I have emptied the scarecrow and strapped the cowardly lion to pull my carts.
Oh, you are so evil! What a horrible person you are! Saying so, Dorothy grabbed the bucket of water that was lying there and threw the water at the witch.
Oh no! You threw water over me? I am going to shrink and melt! Help me! I'm melting! Oh my God! I'm melting! Help me!
And so the evil witch of the west melted away. As that happened, all her slaves became free. They repaired the woodcutter, filled the scarecrow with hay, and released the lion. Dorothy and her friends went back to the Emerald City. The Wizard of Oz welcomed them and granted the wishes of the Scarecrow, the Woodcutter, and the Lion. What about my wish? How will I get back home?
You don't need me for that. You had the power all along. Just click your heels together thrice and tell the slippers where you want to go. They will take you there.
Though Dorothy was excited to go home, she was sad to leave her friends. She said a tearful goodbye to them. Then she picked up Toto in her arms and clicked her heels together 3 times and told her slippers to take her home. So you see, Tofu, if all the friends hadn't worked together, they would have not been able to defeat the evil witch of the West.
Yes, Tia. I now understand the importance of a team. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.